What's up, everybody?
What's up? What's up? What's up?
Welcome back to another episode of, what is it, Brisha?
Snatch your edges.
That's not the name of the podcast. You know it, right?
Oh, hold on, Jesus. Of course it's not.
Time.
Hold on
to your love.
Yes.
Hold on to your edges, guys. I haven't had my drink yet.
Oh, neither. I haven't drank today either.
Ooh, what's wrong with us?
Problem. It is like a 5-something in California, and I haven't drank. What?
I know. I'm drinking water, and I'm being healthy.
We're going to bring
I'll
on
be
that.
drunk by 7.
Well, I am one of your hosts, Angel Lakita Moore, also known as That Chick Angel. Tell them who you are, Bree.
I'm Brisha Webb, and I go by Brisha Webb.
She's like, I'm not doing all these aliases. Yeah.
You know.
If this is your first time listening to us or watching us on YouTube, what's up? Thank you for coming. And make sure wherever you're listening to us that you rate and review us. It makes our podcast more discoverable. And this is just a podcast that is about us girlfriends and snatching the crap out of your edges, okay?
Yes. So we have to hold on to them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why we talk to each other. And I'm so glad you're here to join us.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we like to start off every episode with a little ditty. And we have been blessed today in this
episode, my God,
to have a very special guest. We have a professional, okay?
Very professional. Singer, actress, performer, producer, director.
Little screen, the Broadway stage. Okay. None other than Naturi Naughton. Everybody, clap your hands.
Clap your hands like this. Okay.
Hey, well, thank you. Ooh, that was a good intro.
Now, listen, we are just so blessed to have you, and especially for this first segment, because we're going to start so that you didn't have to watch us blunder through this beginning. But my Patreon, which I like to call my family, when I was like, y'all want us to go ahead and start and then just bring in Naturi for the main topic, they were like, no. We want to hear her on this improv song. Okay.
Because she has an album coming out and it's fire. Okay. Was I supposed to say it?
Yes. No,
you were like, wait a minute. Was that Angel? Do you need to add that? Coming out. We've been waiting for this music, Naturi.
Yes.
It's coming. It's coming.
So my Patreon members, they gave us the topic of the song today, and it's about gaining the quarantine 15. And I'm going to give it to you all in a club, you know, gay club. Boom, 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 boom,
I like that.
Boom, boom. I've been eating. All the snacks. Yeah, that's why my ass, looks hella whack. Yeah, all the Cheetos. Yeah, and the gummy bears. Yeah, and sometimes, I don't shave my hairs. Yeah, so I'm getting thick. And the panties make me sick. Take it, Brisha.
I'm getting so fat. I drink all my wine, all in a tax. I tack it to my boobs. I tack into my butt. I tack into my midsection because it is so whack. I try to do my abs, but I can't sit up straight. I can't do my squats, but my squats don't go nowhere because I'm so fat. Quarantine 15. I want to be in a relationship, but my refrigerator loves me more. Take it away, Naturi.
Oh, I just want to eat all day long. Yeah. I love the coffee cakes, the donuts so much. It gives me a good, juicy butt. Oh, I just want to eat. I just want a snack. Give it to me, baby. I know I'm getting fat. Oh yeah. Give me all the goodies. Give me all the food. Give me barbecue ribs, corn on the cob, macaroni and cheese, everything they got. Ooh, I want it. Give it up in my mouth. I can't wait to taste it. Give it up. I'm so ooh, I'm getting fatter every day. And I love me this way. I'm getting fat every day. Fat every day, but I still love me. Oh, anyway.
Come on.
That was beautiful.
That was
and such a message.
You know, I still love me anyway, despite the quarantine 15.
Yeah, that's
I cannot believe I just did that off the dome.
Because that's what talent is.
Yeah.
Y'all are crazy.
I'm a little emotional because you love yourself anyway. Even though you're fat.
Did you hear that?
Y'all are so silly. I tried to bring in a little vibrato at the end.
I loved it. I heard it. I
felt it.
It shook my soul.
Yeah. That is hilarious. You know, you got to still love yourself anyway. You might come out with 15 extra pounds, but you come out with a good spirit and a good soul.
Right.
Feed your spirit just as much as your tummy.
Naturi, you've been doing the work.
I've been doing
the work.
She loves herself.
She loves herself with the fat anyway. My God.
You know, it's all good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to move to our next section now that we've blessed your ears with such amazing music.
Amazing music. I need a glass of wine. I'm really emotional.
We are about...
I'm going to grab my water.
Get your water, Naturi, because after all that singing,
you know,
that's got to moisturize that instrument.
Yeah, to keep it moist, honey.
Drink my water.
We're going to talk about what snatched our edges this week. And apparently something has snatched my brain because I can't remember mine, but I'm going to. It literally...
My song just blew you away.
It really did. It really did.
You gave us so much more than what I ever could have did. You gave us a bridge. You gave us a good hook. You gave us an emotion. You gave us an emotional story, something to tether ourselves to.
Right.
All off the dome.
Thank
all
you.
off the dome.
I mean, I tried.
Listen, she's more. There's more, guys. There's more.
She is hilarious.
So what has snatched your... I mean, I know a part of Brisha's story. So I want you to go ahead and tell them what caused your edges to be on the concrete this week.
Well, there's two things. Yesterday was really dramatic. It was Naturi's birthday, so shout out for her birthday day.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, boo. I'm wearing my necklace. Brisha got me.
A necklace plate.
Yeah.
That's my name.
Talk about mine. So I got
my twin. It's so cute.
Little baby.
But go ahead, tell me.
Yes. So what snatched my edges yesterday was I woke up to a text from my cousin Chantel, and she told me that I was on the Shade Room. Now, the last time that I was on the Shade Room.
Was it Drake?
I wasn't going to say his name. I was just... I wasn't going to say his name, but hey, you said it. And it was very embarrassing, and it was blown out of proportion, and I was a little embarrassed. But that's here, near, there. So I looked over my life the night and the previous nights before, and I said, Brisha, what have you done? You haven't been in public, so there's no reason for you to be out embarrassing yourself again. So why are you on the Shade Room? So it was quickly gathered when I was being inspirational. Because, you know, when you're on the Shade Room, it's because you've done something wrong. But I was being an inspiration. So I was proud of myself. Like, yeah, Brie, you did it. So
I didn't know that. You didn't tell me about that.
It's still up there.
This was yesterday? Okay, so I have to go look.
It's about 30, 40. You know how quickly they post. It's probably about 30, 40 posts down, but you'll see her.
You'll see her.
Glowing.
It's me being inspirational.
What was it about?
Self-care.
It was me just saying how we can keep ourselves together as women, you know, self-care. And I was like, you know, if you want to cry, if you want to do your hair and your nails, do that. If you don't, it's okay too. Don't do that. And so it was just a little positivity that I spread out there. I was really proud of myself. And it was from Netflix. So I did it for Netflix. And it was nice that they shared. It was really nice. But the other thing, it was really nice. It was really nice. So thank cute shade room. And then
Tell him.
it was tightly gathered and tightly snatched again because my dog decided that she was sick of me and she wanted to go for a walk. So around 11:30 a.m. yesterday, she went on an adventure. Her name is Littlefoot. And she didn't come back, and I couldn't find her until like 9 o'clock that evening. Talk about edges being snatched. I accused everyone on my block of stealing my dog. She's 6 pounds of greatness who doesn't listen to me anymore because she's 14 and she's probably losing her hearing and her sight. But, you know, she's the love of my life. And I'm so thankful that God brought her back to me.
Littlefoot was out here on the host row.
Yeah, Littlefoot was going to get her some dick. She was like, I'm sick of everybody. Mommy, you won't leave the house. Peanut is sniffing everything, getting everything dirty.
Yeah, she was like, I need some quarantine peen. I'm up out of here. And she came back with such an attitude.
She did. She did. I was like, who had you? What were you eating? What were you doing? She was like, ugh.
My life wasn't that dramatic. Thank God. None of my, well, hell, one dog's dead, but the other one's still here. He can't run away. It's not going to happen. But what I will say is that I felt like Insecure definitely gave me a nice tug at the edges this past episode. I really liked where they went with it. Brisha used to do, for those of you all who don't know, me and Brisha used to do Insecure watch parties for this season, and but we haven't done one in a while because we now have this. But Naturi, do you watch Insecure?
Yes, I love that show.
Right, and I thought this episode of watching Issa just go through it when she's actually trying to do like good, like sometimes that happens to folk. Like it's not everything the bad that happens is not because people just making mistakes. Sometimes bad
shit happens.
Yeah, shit happens, and bad stuff be finding you. Like you trying to help a man get to where he going because he missed the bus, and he just got you out here feeling terrible. And then people dying and dash on you. Like it, my heart went out to her, but I was glad she stood her ground when it came to Molly, because I was just like, you right.
Yeah, Molly's wrong.
Yes.
But you know what? Because I was like, part of me was so happy. I mean, should I say it? Because I feel like people watch and some people don't.
Well, listen, as one of the family members like, no, I haven't watched it yet. Don't worry, Sarah. Granted, I did spoil some things. It's still going to be a great emotional roller coaster for you. Don't worry. It's still, it's going to be good. I am so sorry.
Good. That's why I'll keep my mouth closed for you, Sarah, because it's so good. Because I feel like in friendships and in growth and becoming a woman and who you are, your friendships go through seasons. And sometimes you outgrow your friendships and you get new friendships, and sometimes you just go through the ships. And so, the ships. Marquita, shout out to Marquita. And the Ship Smart podcast on Fridays.
Yeah, so that one definitely, because I love the show too. Sometimes they start off the seasons kind of on a slower tip. They don't like take off in a sprint, but I'm glad that we're now at like this pace where it's just like, okay, I want to see what's getting ready to happen next. I'm ready to see what's getting ready to happen next. So yeah,
they give us the slow roll. They slow rolled us like this was a melodrama. Like a drama, like all these dramas that come out is like, what is going on for the first 4 episodes? And then by the 5th episode, it's like, I have to keep watching.
Right. So yeah, I definitely loved, they tugged on these edges, and I was here for it. Naturi, do you have a snatchable moment you want to share?
It could be good, it could be bad. I mean,
I was going to say, well, really yesterday, my edges were snatched because my man turned my apartment into an Egyptian restaurant for my birthday.
Yeah.
I came in the house, so I wanted to go to Cairo for my birthday. At one point, I was like, oh, I want to go back to, I've been to Africa with Brisha, actually, one of those times. I love Africa, but this time I was like thinking about it. We were talking about, let's go to Egypt and see the pyramids. So, of course, COVID happened and that didn't happen. But, you know, I don't know, it was pretty snatchable to come into the house and it was Egyptian music playing and all the decorations and Nefertiti and the wall. And I had delicious food, but my food was real Southern. It wasn't Egyptian. I had barbecue ribs,
Okay.
macaroni and cheese, corn on the cob. So we skipped the Egyptian food part, but.
And he cooked it, right?
Yes, he cooked.
Oh, that's amazing.
Just like, I was just too through because, you know, to me, unfortunately, as women, sometimes we forget what it feels like to really be just treated like a queen. And yesterday, my edges were snatched because my new boo made me feel like a queen.
That's so.
Applause.
Yeah, that deserves.
Applause.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Because your edges were moisturized in that moment.
They were. It was moisturized, snatched, and laid.
Yeah,
that's how we like them. Laid.
Without a skull.
I'm loving this smoky voice that Naturi has. It is so.
Oh, really? It's not fun. I've been talking a lot today, so it's been a long day. But people think it's sexy, but I'm not trying to be.
I'm not trying to be. But you gave me the shoulders with it, which makes me feel like
because I'm super old school. I do that naturally. People literally think they're like, oh my gosh, you're like somebody. I'm like a grandmother mixed with a Southern belle, mixed with just classicness.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. But that was beautiful. That was a really, really nice gift.
He needs to write a book and make men read it.
We could talk about what they need. Like, we've been through, Brisha knows so many men issues and craziness. Girl, I'm
still out here.
I know, but at least it's better to be out here alone than be in here with some bullshit.
Come on and lay the word down on
another jewel. Another jewel dropped.
I would rather be out here alone than to be in here with your bullshit.
Right. Being quarantined with crazy. Don't nobody want that.
Because you got to split the rent and you done got bills together.
Don't nobody want it. Look at you. You independent, Brisha. You ain't got anybody that come up in there you don't want in there. You get to kick them out. And they got to leave.
It's me and my dogs.
Yeah.
And the dogs.
Listen.
So yeah, that was it.
Well, I am so excited to have you on here and the fact that you agreed to the topic, because we are always trying to come up with stuff that, like, while me and Brisha are really close and we have regular girlfriend talks, we were trying to, come up with things that we could talk about from our perspective that's different, that not every
podcast
could touch on, you know what I'm saying? Like, girlfriends can talk about a lot of stuff, but what makes us unique? And with all three of us being actresses, one thing that a lot of people don't go through is having to do sex scenes. That just is something that people in normal, regular day life, if you work at Google, you're not having to do a sex scene.
Hopefully you're not. You ain't dipping off.
And if you are, I hope you're getting paid.
Right.
Yeah, I hope you're
getting paid for it.
Just don't be wrecking no homes over there.
Okay.
But yes, go ahead.
That's something that a lot of people have not had to do or deal with. I've never had to deal with it on camera, but I have had to deal with it on stage. Brisha was going to be going potentially down that path in her career at some point. Probably.
Oh, Brisha, they gonna get you. Trust me. And you got a nice.
No, they trying. They trying, girl. They trying to get the snip nip.
They gonna get you.
Trying to get the snip nip.
They're gonna get you. So just prepare your.
While they up.
While
they're up.
Come on, we're coming through. Let them know.
Right.
So, Naturi, tell us, because I want to say, for me, I think the first time I ever saw, because it was crazy, like, because I know you were doing Broadway, you had done a lot of stuff, like, you've always, we've always known you as a singer, you were doing Broadway, and then, like, the big movie that I remember seeing you, like reintroduce yourself to everybody was Notorious, right?
Yes.
So, all of a sudden, there's a sex scene, I was like, oh my God, we see it all. The toys out here doing the damn thing. You know what I'm saying?
And what people don't know is that it's so mechanical.
Yes.
You know, like everything is about the lighting. Everything is, it's not
I was
sexy
just talking about this. It's so true.
All. Like it's really invasive. There's so much going on. There's the miking. Like I've please speak on it.
Please, so was that your first sex scene, like in that movie?
It was. I mean, whew,
Tell us what was going through your head.
I was really scared. A lot of people, you know, when they saw Notorious, because I had been the girl from 3W, I had been, you know, kind of known as like a teenager in a pop group and pop R&B group. So the next time they saw me was literally on top of Biggie, riding him, and my titties was out. So, you know, it took me a minute to adjust because I really, unfortunately, I care, you know, when people criticize or, you know, I didn't want people judging me and being like, oh, she out here wilding, you know, so I was scared. And in all honesty, it was a very challenging experience. I think I had one sex scene and one nude moment by the pool with suspenders over my breast. And I had to like remove the suspenders and my titty, my nipple. And I was trying so hard. I was like, don't let the nipple come out. Because if they see the nipple, they're going to, like, I'm really going to hell.
But you were playing Little Kim. Like, that's the thing. And people forget. I mean, but people have,
No, people don't always understand. So that's why I had to like mentally tell myself, this is not Naturi, you know, out here with her titties, you know, the pasties on the nipples and all of that. This is a character. And to me, I got past the idea of like, oh, is everyone going to judge me or being naked or, you know, nude? I accepted that that's really the character is a real life person, that these things really did happen. And you can go through, you know, how free Little Kim was sexually and, you know, physically. So I started I was like, oh, I look kind of good. If you're going to do it, I was like, I love
girl.
it. I got nice little breasts.
Your boobs are amazing. That's the first thing I noticed.
I mean,
I was like,
you know, I mean, and then this is pre-baby and they still beautiful now, but I'm just saying it really made me feel less. I felt like I saw myself differently too. But what I will always tell people, sex scenes, even in Power, it really is, like Risha said, technical as hell. So those scenes in Notorious were weird, but it's also very like not exciting. It's like sweating, and I'm like, go Biggie, get it. It was hard.
And they're like directing you while you're doing it.
Then they're saying stuff like harder, fuck him harder, or now turn over. And he's getting, I'm like, whoa. So I think the first sex scene was crazy, but I got more, I think, accustomed to it when I was having sex with the lovely Omari Hardwick. So, you know, that it took time, but I accepted the characters.
Yeah. And that's why she's NAACP nominated and winning and does all of those things.
All of it.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So
as are you.
When you were first auditioning for Little Kim, was that something that you resolved then, of like, because I know, like, say for instance, Brescia, I'm not gonna put all of your business because it's some.
Go ahead. That's why we're here. Hold on to your edges.
Hold on. Like, you know, these are things that people don't realize, these are things that are negotiated in the contract prior to the you going on to set. It's not like you're surprised with, guess what, we gonna see your nipples today. It's something that, like, is completely like written out, that we are expecting simulated sex, we are expecting, you know, full frontal nudity. All of the things are already carved out so that hopefully on the day, you know, everything goes smoothly. So during just even that, the negotiation of, okay, Naturi, we want you to be Little Kim, like, did you have to get some resolve then, even like?
Oh yeah. I mean, I wouldn't have gone that far. I mean, I fought for that role. I went through like 5, you know, different auditions, camera tests, chemistry tests. I mean, literally they did not know who I was, other than some people like, oh, it's a girl from 3W. But I think they wanted to give it to a name actress at the time, someone maybe like Megan Good, or, you know, someone who was more recognizable as an actress. So this was my first movie, and I knew that, you know, I'm not going to fight for this and then be like, oh, but I got to be naked or nude. No. So I think when I was at the point of a camera test, I think that's when they said I had to sign something called a nudity writer, you know, and disclosure, like all that. They give you all the details of what is expected, is the sex is expected, or, you know, partial nudity, nipples, they want to see frontal, or, you know, some bottom half, like it'll explain all those things. And at first I didn't want to sign it. I remember thinking, because again, like, I'm like, you know, how am I going to tell my parents? Lord, like, I was like, Daddy, close your eyes. But I think, again, I talked, you know, I had a lawyer, went through some things and figured out like what I was comfortable with. Once I got past, because there was no nudity of like the vaginal area, it was more like just writing.
Because it's not sex, guys.
Yes,
if you
it's
guys
not.
Are wondering.
Thank you. It's not really
It's not
sex.
sex.
Like people was like, you really was fucking Biggie? No.
Forgot his name, to his whole existence. He was Biggie.
Oh, of course. And I was Little Kim for like 3 years.
Yeah.
They was in the streets of Brooklyn like, what up, Kim? And I'm like, am I supposed to turn around or?
And now they like, what up, Tasha? I'll be like,
exactly. And they get mad if I don't turn around. Like, you know what your name is?
Like, actually, I do, and it's actually not
Naturi.
Tasha.
Like you can't tell me my name. But anyway, so I think in signing that, I definitely had to make peace with the idea of doing simulated sex, all that. And I did, and I'm actually glad, because it was a hurdle in my career that I never thought I would be in the middle. I never imagined I would ever be in anything. I am the most conservative person.
Really?
Like I mean, people don't really know me. They be like, you wild, you crazy dudes be trying to hide. I'm like, oh no, I'm a lady. I'm a lady.
I'm the wild one.
Yes. And I mean, I'm wild, like, well, we're dancing wild partners, but she's my other half. It's like twins, the mirrors, but she can get it in, and I'll be like, oh no.
No.
Like, kiss on the first day. I'm super conservative. I've never thought that I went to Catholic school my entire life.
Oh, wow.
I grew up singing in my church choir in East Orange, New Hope Baptist Church. So to me, I was always like, I'm going to just be Whitney Houston and do movies like Bodyguard and be a singer and an actress. I didn't think I was going to be, you know, Queen Bee and then, you know, all these other characters. So I think that's what people don't realize, how different I am from these characters.
No, that's gotta be hard. Like, to grow up super religious and to like, and be that involved, and to know that you are going to take that hurdle. I mean, I think anytime you grow up super religious, it's always hard to just walk in your womanhood, regardless of what it is.
I'm walking in it now. I mean, when this is over, I'm going to be walking into the first time. I've always been looked at as, you know, just cute, and never as a sexy person. So I'm flattered that I'm starting to be looked at like that now. But the new show that I'm going to be on is also on Stars, and they want to see some, you know. And so I definitely looked at you, Naturi, and was like, you know, if my friend can do it and she's gotten through it and she's fine,
this is a good time to do it, girl.
This is a good time to do it. She's up. Everybody's happy. Everyone's uplifted.
It will be inspiring to many people out there. You know?
And for me to take myself seriously that way.
No,
so
it's
that'll
true.
be a journey.
You should. I mean, it's scary. I'm not saying do it for every project.
No,
but I think your show is a cable premium show. Risha is going to be the lead, one of the leads, and you're expressing what real women
go through. Yeah.
And go through. So if you're not doing it in a gratuitous way and it's purposeful for the story, then I think it makes sense.
Yeah.
How nervous are you, Brisha, about your very first sex scene? Like, is your brain just like, oh, yes, I'm going to have a bunch?
I can just see her now, like, oh,
Naturi, trust, you will be on speaker.
like, so
if you're not there,
touch me? She's gonna be like trying to FaceTime. He was but is that okay? Is that normal?
I am.
That he grabbed my titty like that?
I am.
Like, yes.
I'm glad you're ready for that.
I've had, Amari, I've had him sucked. I mean, all kind. I mean, not like really sucked, but it looks.
But
like
you got. I mean, his sex scenes with that other woman and you. Like, I'll be like, this is. Can we try that?
I feel like
man at the time.
They are kind of inspiring.
They're inspiring.
Listen, Power, I feel like took sex scenes to a whole
nother
level. I was
did. Oh, I think we're like known for that.
Yeah, like yes, definitely.
I think so.
I definitely tried some of those things.
People like, I'm gonna try that. So how was even that? Okay, so yeah, Naturi, how was that? Because they are like, okay, so we can think, since we were just talking about it, Insecure, they have their like sex scenes, and they're pretty tame. Like the way they try to give you like a little bit of a jar to it is how they're like smash cut, like you're going from walking down the street to seeing a big black man's ass opening.
I know. Oh gosh, remember that episode? I was like, Issa got her a little big boy.
Yes, a biggin.
He was getting it though.
He was
going.
He was up in there. He was up in there.
But like on Power, these like it felt like they were like, we want you to feel like you are here. Because I remember, yes, when you said had your nipples, I remember the first time I saw that on Power, when I saw somebody's mouth on somebody's nipple. I was like, what?
It's all discussed and negotiated. It's all choreographed, girl. Like literally every single thing, particularly my scenes. I mean, I had a sex scene in the shower with Sinqua Walls, who played Sean, my driver. We had a sex scene. I've had sex in the backseat of the car with the driver. Sean played with Sinqua. I've had sex with Amari. And then Terry Silver, the lawyer. I was sleeping with him too, girl. Tasha was lonely.
She had a life to live.
And
right.
I said, hey, if Ghost could live his, why can't she?
Right.
So I think one thing that I would say about that process that people, again, misperceive is how choreographed it is, really. So like when you saw that mouth come to the nipple, they ask you in kind of a sex rehearsal, they call it, and they say, are you comfortable with him kind of putting his mouth or tongue or anything in your, on your breast or your nipple area? And you say yes, but no biting, no hard sucking, just, I say things. I've told, Amari used to kiss me in certain sex scenes where he would kind of bite my lip, and I had to tell him, I say, I can't go home with my man with no fucking, but you ain't about to be breaking skin.
Okay. Oh my God.
But in real life, some people do a little nibble, and I think, and he I don't even know if he remembers this. This was season 1. Lord, I hope this doesn't like turn out to be crazy and people gonna be like, you was saying, but no, it's true though. He kissed me, and you know how people stuck gravity about me. But he kind of like bit it a little bit. He probably didn't mean to.
Right.
But a few times it was hard, and I was like, let's just pretend to have passion. Like pretend.
He was in it.
Yeah, he was like method acting. Come on.
Passion level, and I get it. We were like, and I was like, but my lip.
After
multiple takes. And my shit is tender. So, but things like that you have to say. And then even, when somebody's doing you from behind or flip you over, all those things you say, okay, when you flip me over, like even when I was pregnant, after pregnancy, I had a sex scene like shortly after having my daughter. And I was breastfeeding, right? And there was still milk in my titty. And if you hang a titty over too long, it'll start dripping. So I was like, I gotta lay back, keep them up. And Brandon Victor Dixon, who played Terry Silver, was super great, and all my partners have been wonderful. It's about respect.
Yeah.
So I told him, don't suck, do anything suckling or pushing, because you might actually get a little secretion of some milk
in your face.
So you know how dudes be grabbing. I was like, let's not do a squeeze. Let's do tender around the boob grab. So he really, so things like that everything is worked out. I mean, everything down to I'm gonna have my left leg on you, and then you kiss me on my neck. Like everything is worked out.
And now it's like even going forward with this COVID situation,
and like how they gonna do
seeing how things are gonna change now. I'm quite curious, to see like even just a kiss scene. I'm nervous too. I'm scared shitless.
How am I going?
Because you go home like until they have like a test,
and then you can bring that back to your
your family
or your family.
Yeah, your child.
Yeah, that's a very good point, Risha. I don't know.
Yeah. Like maybe we got everything we needed to get.
I hope so.
From all of these other shows that have simulated sex, and we have had our fill, to now we will just reach out and touch somebody and be like, you know what I'm saying, and fade to black.
Right. It'll be like you see them walk into the bedroom and close the door, and that's it. You see them walk in, close the door. Okay,
and close it.
That was the sex.
I don't know how they gonna do that.
Because you can't even carry. We got to practice 6 feet. Yeah, I can get my coverage. You can get your coverage over there.
Right.
What about the wide shot, girl?
The wide shot, we just gonna have to superimpose that green screen, something.
But again,
it was like the first audition. I just have to say this, and Naturi, you can. What? I think you read this, but there was an audition that I read, and the piece was that they were having sex. And in the audition piece, they wanted you to have.
Did you just whisper sex like we ain't been talking about it this?
Yeah, right. I don't know why.
Because I feel like she's low-key conservative too.
No, I mean, no. I got a song "Thing from Your Heart, Not Your Pussy." Like, I'm cool.
I mean, you would say it, but you have your moments.
I have my moments. Exactly, you're absolutely right. But the scene that they wanted us to audition with, we were supposed to have sex on the scene. So the camera's there, and he was like, and I'm like, pull your dick out. And like, she was telling him what to do. Mm-hmm. Did you read this scene, Naturi?
Wait, is this recent?
Called, yes, it was the one.
Whip your dick out.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It was like a sex. Oh, that was so hard.
So hard.
I mean, it was like, yes. So you just have to. I mean, I won't say who wrote it in the project.
Right, I won't, because I don't know, because I personally, I won't say anything. But I felt like that was the first scene that I had read that was like kind of practicing social distancing sex. Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So I was like,
because they never actually. Well, they were about
to, but then the baby woke up.
But then the baby, exactly.
So I was like, is it gonna be like that? Like, is it gonna be whip your dick out?
Yeah,
I'm gonna feel on my titty.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Like it was like more.
You're gonna watch me finger myself.
Yeah, it was like very vulgar in that way, but they weren't actually touching. So it was like social distancing sex.
You're like that's.
I think that was also what contributed. That could be really good in comedy because it's funny. But nobody's actually doing it. I thought it was hilarious.
I thought it was a comedy. It was definitely a drama.
No, I thought it was a comedy.
It was a comedy?
Oh, yes, it's a comedy, girl.
Well, I read it right then. See, Angel, it is on silent. It's just on the computer.
Oh, okay.
That FaceTime was on the computer.
Yeah, you got to.
But anyway,
computer. That's what I mute my computer. This is something that's normal. Naturi, Brisha's phone rings during the podcast.
I've muted all my gadgets.
Apparatuses. So what do you do to physically prepare for these sex scenes? I remember watching Flight with Denzel Washington. I forgot the actress's name that was his lover. We know her. What's her name? Anyway, she's a Latina girl. I just don't remember her name.
Yeah,
was it Gina? No, Rosario?
No.
No, it was the other one.
Yeah, it was another one.
Eva Mendes.
She's Zulai's friend.
She was like she's not as known as any of the people you're naming.
Because I don't remember Flight.
Denzel done had a lot of Latina love interests. That's the reason why you're able to name off so many. He's had
That's a whole nother conversation.
Girl, because they all little light.
Yeah.
How come he can't ever have somebody like a Pauletta or a young Pauletta?
I ain't seen it.
Never
I ain't
once.
seen that complexion since
Sanaa was
when
one.
he was Sanaa, and when he was saving the baby, when he was in the hospital with the baby.
John Q.
John Q.
Right, with Elise, not Elise, but
no,
Set it off.
Kimberly Elise.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Kimberly.
I knew it was an Elise in there. My God.
It was an Elise. You're right.
But what I was about to say about that flight, I remember she had to bend over, bare booty in front of camera. Like she didn't have on no drawers. She bent all the way over. It was after their sex scene, so the sex scene had already happened, and she
taking some coke or something.
No, I think she was getting ready to put on her underwear, but like they caught the shot really up close.
I did that once. That's not really as bad if you just bend that close, because I bent over to pick up my panties, but not like in your ass.
It was close. Nadine Velasquez, somebody looked it up for us. Thank you,
Valdez.
Guys. And I remember seeing like how close the camera was to her butt, and I was in my head I thought about all the estheticians that I would need to see before I was prepared.
Erica Williams just said Viola Davis
in Fences. That's because it was Fences. They're not. It's got to be somebody.
It was written by August Wilson, and the character has to be
showing love.
Yeah, it's a period piece. They're not going. Yeah. But you are right.
But yes, Viola. Yep, you're right. But anyway, what I do, I mean, really, honestly, stuff like that. I never had no camera all in the booty like that. But just regular stuff, when I know I have a sex scene, because again, like we just talked about, I'm a snacker. But if I know I'm, for a season coming up or episode, and like I knew, all right, I got the sex scene, monitor my calories. I have a trainer. I work out with my trainer. But, other things you do is really just know your angles, because it's not like the camera sees every part of you. Because the camera can't, unless they're doing, one wide shot, but more than likely, the camera is scanning down different parts of you. So you just make sure when you see that camera, you like, arch your back and give them a little,
learning so much, Naturi. Thank you so very much.
I was about to say, Reach, I hope you're taking notes.
I am.
Girl, she probably knows this. This is very like regular stuff in sex scenes. You always ask them before the shot. You say, okay, now what is this shot capturing? Because if it's close, then I know, okay, suck it in, girl. If I need to, when they're on this part, I'm making sure I'm like really sucked in and ready. But then when they're doing a close part and they're on my kneecap, I'm focusing on giving my calf muscles some, stretch. Because if I know the camera's down there, I want my legs to look good. If I know the camera is over here into my boobs, I'm making sure like they're sitting properly. I never go in positions. I always pick positions that are most flattering for my body. So if the sex rehearsal, they say, do you want to be laying down? Like if you know that your breasts kind of like move around too much, like they're not perky, you might not want to be on top, because then it'll show that they're kind of wobbling. You might want to be on the bottom so you can go like this and make him look up while he's, like if you
got the tricks for the girl.
Oh, you are blessing us today.
Stop it. But if you
don't get this now.
You're so silly. But if you feel like, okay, my nipples are hard, and you make them nice and hard, and it's looking, perky, you be on top, and you make sure to put your arm over his shoulder so that your back, when you lean, your back is arched. If you put your arm, just like when you're on top and you lean over and put your arm over him while you're on top, so everything from the angle is your back is arched.
Let me tell you how you blessing me, because not that I have any intention on doing any sex scenes. I purposefully stay overweight just so that they don't even though I know Showtime, they take all the bad bodies. They're like, come on.
They love everybody. You are so silly, girl.
No, I'm serious. But
nobody is a bad body, because some people love all. I mean,
all the sides, right?
Yes,
all the sides.
They love all of them.
What this is blessing me with is there have been times I have caught myself in the mirror and I've been like, oh God. What is that? But it's because I'm not working. My
You got to print yourself a call sheet.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I got to know when I should look over there. And there are certain positions where I just need to be in my mind. And then there's
the camera. You know what? You are hilarious. But it's true, though. The camera's never going to be on unflattering. Like, if there's a part of your back, I would always tell them, because I'm super self-conscious about my back anyway. I'd be like, my back, you should be from the middle, like middle up. And if you on my back, let it be wide and let me be leaning over so I can stretch so the back looks lean. But don't catch me all bunched up like while he's on
Jesus. Wow. Oh, no. Just, like, especially when, you know, like sometimes.
Like, what the hell? You're getting attacked. But, you know, you just gotta know what that camera's getting. You tell that director, okay, this is when I'm gonna give the extra arch. Or you tell him, I need to know when y'all coming in close to this area. Or I need to know when you're going out wide so I can make my stomach work. Like, whatever you need to do. Because nobody's perfect.
Communication between the director.
How did you figure this out?
It's so true.
It's really great.
I don't know, just literally using my own common sense on the set. I didn't figure it out. It just came to me as I started doing more sex scenes, that if I start talking to the director beforehand of what he wants, he would always, and every time they edited my power sex scenes, I was always very pleased. I was like, ooh, she cute. Like, she all right.
They always looked great. Yeah, they always did.
You know, and even after pregnancy, through pregnancy, I was pregnant all season 4. I mean, no one even knew that. So
no.
The truth is, if you just make sure that the people around you, your DP, your cameraman, and your director got your back, you good. But I learned over time that if I know what they want, I can give them the best version of myself. Naked or not.
That is great. I've learned. I've gathered so much. I've gathered so much.
Abresia, anything that you're like, this is one thing I for sure know I don't want to do on camera. Since your next role will finally open up that world to you where you already know you're playing someone sexy, you're playing someone who's in the world trying to date, trying to find love, and sex is a part of that. Do you already have in your head, like, I know like body part wise, which you don't feel comfortable showing as of yet, but is there anything sexual that you're like, I don't too much, if I'm going to
Is that to me?
Yeah, you, girl.
Oh, Jesus. I was like, I was like, I want to know.
Yeah, I actually want to know too. I was listening like, what won't Grisha do?
I don't know. I mean, I think it goes back to what you said, Naturi, and it's about what the character is, what feeds the character. You know, I feel like there's certain roles where if I play a Josephine, or if I play an Eartha Kitt, or if I play something where there's something that actually happened, or in a character's life that actually happened, I have to show that, and that's what I'm signing up for. So it's whatever feeds the character, and then I'll just have to deal with self after. But I'm dedicated to doing whatever the character needs. And
we're not talking about Eartha. We talking about a fictional,
just a regular character. She has
life is unfolding in front of everyone.
See how I tried to?
Yeah, I saw. Yes. I was like,
she tried it. She tried it.
I was trying to
get her. After Naturi and gave us all these tips, you can be transparent and be like,
all right, fine.
Tell us.
I'm not going to do nothing that I don't do in real life.
Oh,
okay.
So wait, if certain things that you would do in real life, you wouldn't say for like, you know what? I don't want nobody seeing how I do that.
I feel like there's certain.
Or you would do it differently. You would do it differently.
I would do it differently. Like I would.
It's not really like, you.
Yes, I want to keep me different than what I would do someone else. You know,
that's
like
how I do.
You know, so if I kiss.
Because then your man's gonna think you faking.
Right. Like I don't want to be
like,
that.
You did that with him just like you was doing it with me.
Right. And crazy. I mean, that's a whole conversation that we can have off the phone, because Lord Jesus, I want to know.
It's so hard. Men don't
so hard.
Really,
because what feels comfortable and what you want this character to look like, you know, and how you want this character to show her sexy and her emotion, and you know what makes you look good, and what how you want the sensualness with your man, and when you just being yourself.
Right.
So I would say body parts that I'm not comfortable. I mean,
what does this mean? What does this mean?
I mean, I'm open.
That means she's open. That's
I'm
free.
open.
That's
I'm open, you know, because I don't have any like cool. I'm open.
Okay.
And I think when you're confident about your body.
But I ain't done shit yet, Naturi. So I can say all these things until we on FaceTime and I'm crying because I'm a little bitch.
No, I think you'll be fine. I think you're very confident in your body, and I think you should be, and you look amazing. I mean, I always tell Risha, like, she's my twin when 5 years ago when I was a little bit smaller. But you know, I think I'd snatch back okay. But essentially, if you're confident, even at different sizes, it's really confidence.
It's all about confidence, and that's
like, that's half the battle, girl. So you got that. You got it.
I think it's all about ripping off the Band-Aid just because you haven't had to do it.
Yeah, so I can talk all this crap. And I'm terrified. But I'm a TV virgin. So I'm talking all this smack. And then when the lights, camera, action, I'll be like, hold on, give me 5 seconds. And then I'm running to the bathroom in my robe, FaceTiming Naturi.
FaceTiming me. That's hilarious.
I know.
I don't know why I said yes to this.
You can call me
I
anytime.
don't know these people.
Yeah, it's going to be
Meanwhile,
weird.
I'm around naked in my room and everywhere.
I mean, it's different. Like, it is, you know, some people who are very confident in their bodies, it is sometimes hard to get it to translate over to, okay, but now I'm allowing someone who I am not, you know, romantically involved with into my space, into a place that I would not typically allow someone.
It's so true.
So I know it's got to be a little bit of like a mind fuck to be like, okay, but this is not. I
mean, just kissing someone goes through a whole bunch of, you know, things. Do you have herpes? You know, like,
yes, that's the first thing I think. I look for all kind of cold sores,
kinds of bumps,
all kinds of bumps surrounding the area. I'll be like, so we have a kiss scene coming up.
You want to get that cleared up?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I don't play that shit.
She's like, cause that's not coming home with me. Whatever you ain't coming home with me.
Not at all.
Not at all. So we will be talking about that as well. Naturi. Closer to the date.
Yes.
Risha, do you have any more questions for Naturi?
No, I've gathered so much.
I mean, I hope I was able to give some insight on this lovely topic. I never get to talk about. I mean, this is good because people, you know, they see the sex scenes, but we don't get to really explain how very real they are emotionally, physically, because it's more than physical. You're emotional. If you're married and you got to explain to your husband or your boyfriend, you know, oh, you know, I'm getting fucked from behind next week on the episode. Just so you know, I always prepare my man. I just be like, okay, so just so you know, I got a little something coming up. This is what's happening. But I do all fake things on TV. Like everything that I do at home, he'll know that's not me on the screen. You know what I'm saying? Right. So if you keep those lines, like I make different faces.
That's such extra work.
That's I got to come up with other faces.
Yes, girl.
Like for my character face versus my Naturi real sex face.
That's smart though. That's protecting your marriage.
Yes,
that's protecting your relationship. That's protecting your family. Yeah.
So that they don't feel that you're taking something precious out into the world. So when the world sees Tasha, you know, sex with whoever, Ghost or whoever, it's so different than when he sees, or, you know, that intimacy with me at home.
Somebody asked the question, do you all fake chemistry or is any part of it real?
Chemistry is real to me. You know, despite what people think, some things you really can't fake. I mean, sometimes you might, if you don't like somebody, you do have to fake, like, oh, I don't want to be in the scene with this motherfucker. But you do your best. But chemistry, I think when you have chemistry, it's got to be real.
Mhm.
You know, I don't know. Even if you can wind up liking someone. I mean, if two parties are single, that energy is
Mhm.
so thick and strong that
Yeah.
if two people are available, it might have a sense. You mess around and get lost in the sauce, which is a danger zone sometimes. I've seen, and I always tell people to be careful because the chemistry that you think you feel on that set. I mean, I've fallen in love with so many people on sets in my younger days, and I thought I was in Chicago. I mean, and I really was like in a version of like love, but I was infatuated with that. We're sneaking around the set. We have these scenes. Oh, he
But
loves
that's
me.
a part of the exploration and the
it.
imaginative,
Yeah.
Exactly.
thing that we have that's so special because
It is
we are supposed to create these
something
false
out of nothing.
realities. Like
Yeah.
you create a mother and daughter relationship
It's
with
so
our
true.
dear Debbie Morgan, like you
Yeah.
create
You
these
create
like
those.
real friendships and these real things that,
And they do become real,
yeah.
actually, after the fact. But with sex scenes, that chemistry, you can always tell when somebody's not just on cameras. There has to be something to
Yeah.
bind you, and I think it
Mhm.
has to be real, at least a little bit.
I mean, look at Brad and Angelina. They allowed their chemistry to go right on off of Mr. and Mrs. Smith, right into a real ass relationship.
It's
Mhm.
true.
I
Made
think
7 kids.
come on. I think
Mhm.
even if it's not someone that you are normally attracted to, I think there's still like you still find the thing that causes the chemistry to like bubble,
Yeah,
or it does feel
ignite.
kind of stale on camera. It feels like they ain't
They ain't really in love.
they
I
not
don't believe. So many times I do that. I just saw something the other day, and I was like, I saw a movie on Netflix, and I was like, I don't believe that they would really fuck.
right. And it's super important because even if there is no sex scene, we still want to follow this journey of this love story to believe like these people really do want each other.
Have
Like I'm
something.
not in any way, shape, or form physically attracted to Michael Rappaport. But while I was working with him, I was able to
You
find the
were.
thing that I was attracted to. Like there was like
Mm,
a part of his like personality that I was like, I'm really digging that. And that's what I latched on to.
mm.
I was like,
Ah,
this
that's
is
dope.
nice.
Yeah.
But like, no, it wouldn't be if he was somebody at a bar that hit on me, I'd be like,
Aren't
No,
you
thank you.
nice? I'm glad you have eyes to see how gorgeous I am.
right.
You're
So nice of you.
you're so silly. But yes.
Oh man, Naturi, I'm telling you,
You gave us so much,
Oh,
gathered
thank
me all
you.
together. Thank
Well,
you.
I do what I can, and this was fun. Brace your calls, and I answered.
I
she
love
did.
you.
And
She was like, guess who's gonna do the show? I was like, who? She's like, Naturi. I was like, for real. She gonna come on the
yes,
show. Okay.
yes, girl. And this was like, the baby's now. It's my day. It was kind of like the day off. I was like, just so happy after my birthday just to chill. But this was fun. I'm glad I got to do this with you guys.
Thank you so much for
Of
doing it.
course.
Yes,
It was
yes.
fun.
We only have one more segment before we close it out. And this is
Sure,
where
sure.
we like to lay them edges down. We like to give something that's a little good for the soul. You know what I'm saying?
Mm,
To help people get through their week and
That's right.
just calm everything. Get those
mm.
tears just
Okay.
loving themselves.
Loving them down.
Brisha, would you
Loving
like to
them
go
up.
first or would you like for me to go
I,
first?
Oh,
I
is
would
it
like
what?
because I have to meditate on this because I have to think about something.
What
Yeah.
it,
to,
what
to
is it
lay my
that
edges.
you're doing? You're saying something for the soul, like giving them a quote, or
Yeah.
Whether it can be for the soul, it can literally even be for your hair.
Yeah,
Like,
you get what you're laying your edges down with, how you lay your edges
oh,
down with. It could be a saying that you heard that calmed
oh,
your
okay.
spirit.
mhm.
Ooh, I
So
see, I see.
I'll give
Yeah.
you my edge layer.
Okay.
Unlike my dear friend Brisha, who got her hair professionally done during the quarantine, not myself, not judging. I'm
Thank
just
you.
saying,
Yeah,
I
but you
have
did
to.
yours.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to say. I'm about
Oh,
to
sorry.
say that during this quarantine, I know it can sometimes be hard if you just feel like you're walking around looking raggedy. But I will say, give yourself the opportunity to try some sort of protective style to keep you feeling. Because for me, I hate waking up looking told down. I like the thing I like about braids and extensions and stuff like that is you get to wake up, you look in the mirror, you're like, I already halfway look cute. So even if you don't know how to braid, give it a try. Watch some YouTube tutorials. An Instagram tutorial, bless my soul, and I put in these little braids. I mean, they're not.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
That looks good. Now, see, this makes me want to try it.
You should.
It's so easy. I mean, it takes time.
Yes.
Yeah.
Once we.
Can I really do this?
Oh, absolutely.
Now, this, y'all have just blessed me because I want to figure out, I've been dying to put braids in my hair.
Oh, girl, I'm going to bless you.
Because I don't want nobody coming to my house with the baby and everything, but ooh, how do I do this?
I'm going to tell you. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. When we close this out, I promise you. I saw.
See, I got so much.
So fine. It took me maybe coming upon about 5 different protective style videos before I found the one that I was like, now I can do that. Like, I won't mess that one up, because there's other ones where I get all like confident and then that the thing don't work. But so yeah, during this time of quarantine, challenge yourself a little bit. Allow yourself to figure out something so that you can feel confident in the morning and not feel like the world is just laying on your edges. It don't have to. We want to lay them down.
I do have something, and just coincidentally, Littlefoot just happened to bless us.
Oh yes, her dog.
She walked in.
You go horror watching.
She walked
That's
in.
The dog, Littlefoot.
I know.
I just want to give.
I know Littlefoot.
Yeah, I want to give the listeners and everyone a little piece of what I learned about myself yesterday. I lost hope, and I lost belief that I was gonna find my precious Littlefoot. I actually threw in the towel because I lost her at 11:30, and I went running on errands, and I had no idea that she was even gone, and I didn't believe that there were nice people in the world that were going to return her back to me. So what eased my pain and laid my edges down was to remember that God's still with us. And good people are still in the world, and to never lose hope. So that's what I want to leave you guys with.
Good people are in the world.
Good.
And believe that we'll get out of this mess.
Yeah.
There's a lot of negativity and people just, being really, just
like
not
our
optimistic. Our president, it's just so much confusion in the world. We have to believe that there are good people in the world, and that it starts with us. So we can believe in each other, and we can start hoping for a better tomorrow.
Amen. Well, all right, Pastor Webb.
Yes, we just in the
one. So I have one. Let's see. So one thing was this is the lay down your edges thing. I guess I was just thinking, really allow yourself to see yourself as you are. I would say, especially to the women out there, but also to the men, notice how the beard gang is in full effect. If you can't go get a haircut, you can't get your weave tightened or your edges laid in, literal sense, with the perms and all the treatments that we allow yourself to see yourself as natural and as beautiful and as raw as you are. I mean, I haven't had my eyebrows done in forever. But, I stopped tweeting. I could be like anal, like, I got to get these eyebrows perfect and keep it together. I was like, I want to see how much my brows going to grow. I want to really see what my hair will do if I don't put in product in it. And if I pin curl it every night or two-strand twisted, like Brisha and I basically had the same hairstyle. We did. The same day. We did the exact same thing. It was like, you did that too? It's crazy. Across the country. All the time. We just do that all the time. That's why I call her my twin. My mother's an identical twin too. So it's just interesting. They used to do that.
God gave us each other.
Yes. So I think allow yourself to see yourself as you are in your quarantine 15, in your whatever, natural hair, no makeup. Don't try to do a version of you that you think other people will like. Just do the version that you like. Just do the version that you like. And
That's
that will make you
good.
happy. That's what I've been doing. I feel amazing.
That is so good.
Amazing. Naturi came today and she snatched her edges. She held on to them, then she laid them back down.
Okay.
And
I feel like I'm in a green pasture of love.
Thank you.
Yeah, she is in a green pasture. Look at her. Look at
the background.
The green pasture.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I love you, Brisha, and it was so nice seeing you, Angel. And thank y'all for having me. This was fun, and it was an opportunity just to let my hair down and just be me.
Yay!
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Well, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Please come back next week for another episode of Hold On
to Your Edges.
You can follow me at That Chick Angel on all platforms. You can follow Brisha at
Brisha Web. Just Brisha Web, guys.
Just at Brisha. And then you can follow Naturi at
Naturi for Real at Naturi for Real.
Yes, and you can follow this podcast at Hold On to Your Edges on Instagram. And again, please make sure you rate and review us wherever you're listening to us and follow it so that you're not missing these uploads because, we
are giving you fire.
Bang, 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 bang. We got heavy hitters coming through. Y'all don't want to miss this, okay? Okay. So until next week, be good to yourself and be good to your edges.
Amen. Lay them down.